Hi, this is Beth McKinney with FacePaintcom, and today we're going to look at how to use the Wiser Stencils. The Wiser Stencils are distinctive because they have both the negative and positive space portion of the stencil. For most designs, I use the interior piece of the stencil and spray the negative space around it. Hold the stencil down as well as possible to keep ink from blowing in between the stencil and the skin. This will make your lines more sharp. I use non-latex gloves on both hands, but especially for the hand which is holding the stencil, you're going to want to wear a glove to keep it from being covered with ink while you're working. Each artist is going to find the way of doing this that works best for them, but what I like to do is to spray the center area first and then finish with the outer edge. At some point you're going to have to move your hand in order to hold another part of the stencil while you continue working, so if it shifts out of position a little bit while you're doing this, just take a moment and line it up again before you continue. Once the main image is complete, you can use one of the extra accessorizing stencils to add some more detail. In this case, I'm using the extra stencil to add more of a fur look to the lion's mane. As I'm using the stencil, I spray lightly and move the stencil around as is necessary to complete the different areas. The tattoo won't really look realistic unless you go in and add some freehand shading. For some of this, you may need to use wingdings, which are just small curved plastic pieces of mylar that you can use to cover up one area while you're airbrushing around it. It's in doing the freehand shading that your practice with the airbrush is going to really show up. The stencil won't do everything for you, so it's important to train yourself with basic airbrushing skills so that you have the best end results for your client. The final step, use one of your texture stencils like this graffiti stencil to create more visual interest around the tattoo. Experiment with combining these extra elements and discovering which ones work best with each of your tattoos. And as you can see, the Wiser stencils are actually pretty easy to use. If you have any knowledge of airbrush, they're easy to adapt to. I would really suggest, even though they are very easy to use, that you take some time and work with your airbrush if you haven't airbrushed before. Try to build basic skills with it, because those will help you in making your stencils and your airbrush tattoos look even better on the job. Thanks a lot for joining me. If you'd like to see more videos, click on the subscribe button below and leave a comment if you have any suggestions or questions. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.